हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. Actually, this is one of the reasons why after so many years also we don't make progress is because we hear the blasphemy of devotees. We should know, we should take responsibility for ourselves that this is because of my own conditioning. I am not able to make progress because I'm hearing the blasphemy of devotees. So once we give up that, then we'll make very fast progress. So if somebody is speaking, they are also not making any much progress, or even if they are making, it's very very minimal progress. In spite of so much services to the mission of Prabhupada, they will make very less progress. They should have got so much realizations by now. The fact that they are not getting is because of this. Like if you see any of these great Vaishnavas, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Jeptak Maharaj, Radhanand Maharaj, this one quality is very nicely seen that Nindadi Shunyam Hidamipsita Sangalabdha. So they are completely free from this quality of blasphemy of devotees or hearing, finding faults and hearing from any wrong about devotees. So very important thing. If we want to make progress for ourselves, we should also follow this quality. And this is with everyone, anybody. So we are discussing that four levels. First is even if we are comparing ourselves with others and trying to feel I am better, that is also that is also cause of first degree, that is also hampering our progress. Second, we discussed is if I am doing something to prove that I am better than others, that is also a problem. Third is we are neglecting them or keeping distance, think I have nothing to do with them. And then there is also some sort of happiness when something wrong happens to them, or some sort of unhappiness if something good happens to them. So this is the third level. And fourth is directly blasphemy, and there is blindness also. Now here, na, Daksha became blind. Sati is trying to show him the causes that, okay, why you are not able to see. There are four types of blindness. I think three. One is Janmanda, he's from birth, he is blind. Second is Kamanda, he's blind because of lust. And third is Madanda, his pride is blind because of pride. So this is like a person is very lusty and he's going behind a woman or something, not supposed to do certain things. He's having some illicit connections and all. Many people suggest that it is bad for you, you will destroy your health and you will have so many other problems. But still he goes and sometimes he may be killed also. And then this Madhanda is what is Daksha. Very typical example. Is very he became blind because of his pride. So we have seen that how the Daksha blasphemed Lord Shiva, and then Nandishvara he cursed. Instead of cursing just Daksha, he cursed the whole Brahmana race only. He is like too much upset because this is affected by mode of ignorance. He was so angry. He could not understand. "Arey, I am not supposed to curse Brahmana race only. But he cursed whole Brahmanas because Daksha is a Brahmana and all the people who are there, Bhrigu and all the followers of Daksha are Brahmanas. And he became upset with everyone. And then Bhrigu countercast, he said, okay, if you say that because you did not accept Brahmanical culture, you are criticizing Brahmanical culture, then you will become Pashandis. And that's actually what happened to. You will not be able to understand you will have wrong interpretation of the Shastras. That's actually what happens to followers of Shiva. And there are actually different categories. It's not one curse, it's actually multiple curses because it manifests also in different ways. That's the So now we'll see what is the talk between and what is Prabhupada's comments on this section. Very nice section. Maitre Vacha Sada Vedva Sator Evam Kalo Vai Dhriyamanayo Jamatu Sushu Sasyapi Sumahana Sumahan Ati Chakrame. He says Maitreya continued. In that manner, the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law, Lord Daksha and Lord Shiva, continued for a considerably long period. And the previous chapter has already explained that Vidura questioned the sage Maitreya as to the cause of misunderstanding between Lord Shiva and Daksha. The misunderstanding went so bad that even Sati committed suicide. So that's why Vidura is very curious to know why it is that, no? Why that such a misunderstanding and Sati committed. Because she is Sati, that's why she committed suicide. Nobody would have done it. She is so chaste that she could not even tolerate somebody blaspheming her husband. That much chastity she was having. That is her greatness. Somebody says something bad about husband, okay, I cannot tolerate. I'll finish my body. And it unfortunately happened to be her father only. That's why she has to commit suicide. If somebody else is there, Sati would have finished him off. Because she is the personification of metal energy. So that means she has full control of everything that is there in this creation. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Shakti, Rekha, Chaye, Vayasya, Bhuvanani, Vibharti, Durga. She is Durga only. But unfortunately, it happened to be her father. Then she said, "Okay, finish. Let it be. This fellow is blaspheming my husband, and unfortunately, I got a body from this fellow. I will give it up." So that's how it happened. But there are many details in it that's we are going to discuss. So here, another question is why the strife between Daksha and his son-in-law caused Sati to destroy her body. The chief reasons for Sati's giving up her body was that her father Daksha began another sacrificial performance to which Lord Shiva was not invited at all. Generally, when any sacrifice is performed, although each and every sacrifice is intended to pacify the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, all the demigods, especially Lord Brahma and Shiva and other principal demigods such as Indra and Chandra, are invited and they take part. It is said that unless all the demigods are present, no sacrifice is complete. But in tension between father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha began another yajna performance to which Lord Shiva was not invited. Daksha was chief progenitor employed by Lord Brahma and he was a son of Brahma, so he has a high position and was also very proud. So we are having a very big event in the country. Then all the VIPs are invited. It's a protocol actually. Like say uh, if there is a fight between say prime minister and president, and if you have uh, the national independence day, and the president is not inviting the prime minister, and all other ministers are invited, and home ministers, chief ministers, and other dignitaries from other countries are also invited. But if home minister is not invited, or some very big president or prime minister, vice president is not invited, then prime minister is inviting everyone, but he is not inviting the vice president if he is having some problem with him. So then it isn't wrong actually. The protocol is you have to invite everyone, whoever is the top people. If you are inviting president, vice president, president, everybody should be there for the event if it is very big. So that's the protocol. Now Daksha is not following the protocol. He's supposed to invite them. So it is very obviously showing that no, I don't care about him. So it's openly declaring insult to Lord Shiva. So if Vishnu, Brahma and Vishnu are there, Brahma, Shiva are there, then they both are invited. It's compulsory. Like the first invitation should go to them. It's like that. Because they're the top people. And here Daksha is openly showing that he is no person here. And for such a big event, if you are not inviting, it's a very uh, it's actually very wrong. And then what happens is यदाभिषिक्तो दक्षस्तु ब्रह्मणा परमेष्टिना प्रजापतीनां सर्वेषां the patye samo abhavat. This is when Lord Brahma appointed Daksha, the chief of all the Prajapatis, the progenitor of population. Daksha became very much puffed up, and because he is very qualified, and he's not just doing like that, he's also performing tapasya, he's doing yajnas, is very qualified. Although he was envious and was inimical towards Lord Shiva, Daksha was appointed the chief of all Prajapatis. That was the cause of his excessive pride. So this is called Madanda. Is blinded because of pride. When a man becomes too proud of his material position, he can perform any disastrous act, and therefore Daksha acted out of false prestige. This is described in this chapter. इष्ट्वा स वाजपेयेन ब्रह्मिष्ठान अभिभूय च बृहस्पतिः सवं नाम समारेभ्ये कृतुत्तमम्. Daksha began a sacrifice named Vajpaya, and he became excessively confident of his support by Lord Brahma. He then performed another great sacrifice named Brihaspati Sava. See, here now, sacrifice is actually good for whole universe. So Daksha is benefiting the whole universe by performing this sacrifice. Yajna by Vishnu. He is pleasing the Lord by performing this sacrifice. That's why he is confident that he will get the support of Brahma. Now, but he is not inviting Lord Shiva. And now, generally, what happens? Okay, he's doing something good. Let it be, and then they will think, okay, maybe in future he will settle with Lord Shiva. Let it be. But presently, he's doing good work. We encourage him. In the Vedas, it is prescribed that before performing Brihaspati Sava sacrifice, one should perform the sacrifice named Vajpayee. While performing these sacrifices, however, Daksha neglected great devotees like Lord Shiva. According to Vedic scriptures, the demigods are eligible to participate in yajna and share the oblations, but Daksha wanted to avoid them. All sacrifices are intended to pacify Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu includes all his devotees. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to share the screen. Sorry, I forgot this. So here, one should perform the sacrifice. So it is said that all sacrifices are intended to pacify Lord Vishnu, Yajna Vishnu. But Lord Vishnu includes all his devotees, Brahma, Shiva, and other demigods, and all obedient servants of Lord Vishnu, because they are actually doing such responsible service for Lord. They all should be invited. Then Lord will be very pleased. Therefore, Lord is never satisfied without them. Because, like, say, you are inviting, and you are inviting means you should invite all the people connected to him. If you are inviting any family and you say, this person from the family should not come for my marriage, then all the family members will also not come. How can you say that no, the head of the family should not come and remaining all everybody in the family can come? Then others will also not come. They say, no, this is not fair. And even one of the members is not invited. The head of the family will be upset. He said, how can you say that my son should not come for the marriage? So if you are inviting Lord Vishnu, you should invite whole family of Lord Vishnu. So all the demigods and everybody are like family for the Lord. Because they are taking care of the whole universe. They are taking such big, big responsibilities. Even though they are mixed devotees, but they are doing great, great service for Lord. That's why even though so many mistakes Indra does, Lord forgives him because he's taking that responsibility. It's a very tough job. Therefore, Lord is never satisfied with them. But Daksha, being puffed up with his power, wanted to deprive Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva of participation in sacrifice, understanding that if one satisfies Vishnu, it is not necessary to satisfy his followers. But that is not the process. You see, Vishnu wants his followers to be satisfied first. Madbhakta Puja Abhidika. Here, now somebody says, oh, you are watering the root of the tree, then the whole tree nourishes. Right? That formula Daksha can argue. Oh, yata taror mula nishechenena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka. He says, I am satisfying Vishnu, everybody is satisfied. But if you have an hostile mentality to his devotees or anybody, then Lord is not satisfied. That's what Kapila Devi is saying in the third canto, which we discussed also last 3 4 days. That he is not satisfied if you have an hostile mentality. It's not that you have to worship. Like now we say, oh, Lord Shiva also did not give any respect to Daksha. Daksha is also doing service for the Lord. Now, that time he is not hostile to Daksha. He is not envious of Daksha. He respected Daksha and he knows Daksha is part of the Lord. All living entities are part of the Lord. So we should respect all living entities. We should not have any hostile thought or of any feelings or anything for the Lord, any of the devotees, which is very, very helpful for our fast progress in bhakti. Or it will be like Daksha, even though he's doing such a huge yajna and he must be performing really great austerity. It's not easy. You have to spend money, you have to work very hard. Even small event, if people has to do marriage, of their son or daughter, it's a huge event for them. It's like now Daksha is doing for an event to benefit the whole universe. That's why all the people he's inviting them means he has to receive them, spend money, and organize all these things. He's really working very hard. But point is he is having an hostile mentality to Lord Shiva. So that's why he is not getting anything. And instead he got a negative result. He gets a goat head only after doing so so much. The worship of my devotee is better than worship of me. Similarly, in the Shiva Puran, it is stated that both best mode of worship is to offer oblations to Vishnu, but better than that is to worship the devotees of Krishna. Thus, Daksha's determination to neglect Lord Shiva in sacrifice was not fitting. तस्मिन् ब्रह्म ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षिपितृदेवता आसन् कृतः स्वस्त्ययनास् तत्प्रतन्यश्च भद्रका. While the sacrifice was being performed, many Brahma rishis, great sages, ancestral demigods, and other demigods, their wives, all very nicely decorated with ornaments, attended from different parts of the universe. So it's like a very big social event where you are called for a big, huge party, like uh, when Ambani's they got their son married. It's like a huge event. All the top notch of the country they are all invited, and other business people from different countries are invited. It's like a big prestigious event if you're going there. So everybody came in their best of their whatever. And they were given also gifts like that. In an auspicious ceremony, such as a marriage ceremony, sacrificial ceremony, or puja ceremony, it is auspicious for married women to decorate themselves very nicely with ornaments, fine clothing, and cosmetics. These are auspicious signs. Many heavenly women assembled with their husbands and devarishis, demigods, and rajashis in that great sacrifice named Brahaspati Sava. It is specifically mentioned in this verse that they uh, approached with their husbands. For when a woman is decorated nicely, her husband becomes more cheerful. The nice decorations, ornaments, and dresses of wives of demigods and sages, and the cheerfulness of the demigods and sages themselves were all auspicious signs for the ceremony. And this is very important that they decorate very nicely. And brahmacharis are not supposed to go for marriages, but we also go because there is obligations. uh, I did not attend my own family's marriages. None of them invited me. But from last 5 years, I am attending. Maybe I attended 5 6 marriages. I didn't attend any marriage for so many years. And so this is that also devotees marriage I have to attend, because now devotees they're devotee friends, they invite Proji, my daughter's marriage, son's marriage. So there is no option now. So some of them they tell Proji not, they don't call for receptions and all. But the point what I'm telling is that this is very nice auspicious environment, and uh, I think last Sunday only, Monday I attended my marriage. This Monday, it was very nicely arranged, very traditional and all. The point is that it creates actually very auspiciousness. If everybody is nicely decorated with ornaments and fine clothing and cosmetics, it is an auspicious thing and creates good future for the couple who are getting married. And this nice decorations and all, it's auspicious sign for the ceremony. So everybody is very happy here. But there is a tragedy going to happen very soon. Tat upasrutya nabasai kecharana prajalpatam sati dakshayani devi pitrayajna mahotsavam व्रजन्ति सर्वतो दिग्भया उपदेवा वरः स्त्रियः विमानयाना सप्रेष्ठा निष्ककण्टकी सुवाससः दृष्ट्वा स्वनिलयाभ्यासे लोकक्षीर्मृष्टकुण्डला पतिं भूतपतिं देवम् औत्स्कुयाद् अभ्यभासत. She says the chaste lady Sati, the daughter of Daksha, heard the heavenly denizens flying in the sky conversing about the great sacrifice being performed by her father. When she saw that from all directions the beautiful wives of the heavenly denizens, their eyes very beautifully glittering, were near her residence and were going to the sacrifice dressed in fine clothing and ornaments, their earrings and necklaces with lockets, she approached her husband, the master of the Bhutas, in great anxiety and spoke as follows. So, as soon as she came to know that everybody is going and they're nicely decorated, dressed, like in your community, around all the people are going and they're nicely decorated, and there is a big event is happening in the nearby temple, and everybody is taking some nice flowers, fruits, and decorating themselves and going. Immediately, oh, some nice event is happening in the temple. We should also go. So, Mataji will definitely have this. They like social. See, actually, two fears are there in this world. One is fear of death, and another is fear of loneliness. And fear of death and loneliness. And we try to work on these two things all the time. We always want to be eternal. We don't want to die. We try to make all measures to see that this body don't die. We are happy with this body. And second is loneliness. So we want to have social atmosphere around us. We want to have people around us. And what happens is sometimes people can be with the closest of the people besides them, but they still remain lonely. So this is an unfortunate situation that happens. Here, and especially for women, the psychology is like that. They always have this. They want to have social gatherings and all. They don't like to be lonely. So that's the main problem for them. Of course, they enjoy also that. They don't consider it problem. They feel it's an advantage. It gives them pleasure to attend social events. If boys, you leave them alone, they are very happy. They don't mind. For women, they are very much interested with social events. The psychology is like that. And they are very happy to going to some parties. All these kitty parties and all is like that. We say, Arey, you have money, you be at home, you enjoy. No, they say they want to have a party. So it appears that the residence of Lord Shiva was not on this planet, but somewhere in the outer space. Otherwise, how could Sati have seen the aeroplanes coming from different directions towards this planet and heard the passengers talking with about the great sacrifice being performed by Daksha? Sati is described here as Dakshayani because she was the daughter of Daksha. The mention of Upadeva Vara refers to inferior demigods like the Gandharvas, Kinnaras, and Uragas, who are not exactly demigods, but between the demigods and humans. They were also coming in planes. So these are like what happens, no? Like people do so much pious activities, they can go to heavenly plane. And but sometimes their karma is not sufficient to be in that planet. So they end up in becoming all these half demigods, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, inferior demigods. The word Swanilayabhyase indicates that they were passing right near her residential quarters. The dress and bodily features of the wives of heavenly dancers very nicely described here. Their eyes moved, their earrings and their ornaments glittered and glared. The dresses were the nicest possible, and all of them had special lockets on their necklaces. on their Each woman was accompanied by her husband. Thus, they looked so beautiful that Sati, the Akshayani, was impelled to dress similarly and go to the sacrifice with her husband. This is a natural inclination of a woman. So they like nice dress ornaments, and it is good also for them, and that helps them to uh, remain very faithful to husband because husband provides all these things. This is all previous ages. Now things are different. We cannot comment on now what the things are. But this was actually very nice for them. All these feminine qualities will keep them safe and will help the men also in both the ways. The system is so nicely created. But now people are, because the ego is not correct, people are not understanding only. That's where the problem comes. Anyway, so here Prabhupada is talking about the position where the planet of Lord Shiva must be somewhere high. And second thing, he is indicating that the Kshayani, she is impelled to dress. So what happens is we get affected by the surroundings. And that's actually what Sati is doing, getting now. She's affected by the surroundings. Lord Shiva is not affected. That's why he's Lord Shiva. Why he's so great? Because the circumstances don't affect him. It affects all other people in this creation because these modes are there which influences. Say suddenly now there is no sun today at our place. So immediately our mood changes. I don't feel so enthusiastic because no sun. Very dull. Suddenly sun comes, we feel little energy. Most of the sales and businesses happen on very, if the atmosphere is very bright. It is rainy season and very dull environment conditions, no? The businesses don't go well because people are also, they don't get that mood. So here the point here is we get affected by the environment that is around, and here same thing Sati is exhibiting. She is also getting affected. Now Sati is going to speak to Lord Shiva. And women are very expressive even in front of their husbands. So they express. Sati is also doing the same thing. And she is actually showing the feminine nature, very proper, correct things which is supposed to happen. And she has all her powers, all her energies. Not that she don't have all the powers. She's now also have all the powers, but along with that, she has that feminine feelings also, like Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi also, like Rukmini Devi, when Krishna spoke that, okay, better you marry Shishupal and all these things, Rukmini Devi fainted. She is the mother of universe. But when Krishna spoke, he was jokingly speaking, and Rukmini faints. And then Krishna has to, console her and tell, no, 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 I'm just joking. Now, why did she faint? Because she is exhibiting all the feminine nature. Even though she is mother of universe, everything she knows, but the quality is like that. That only gives the pleasure to the husband. That the qualities of Lord Mother Rukmini gives pleasure to Krishna. And some qualities of Satyabhama, they also give pleasure. So they will remain in that quality because to give pleasure. So Lord Shiva will be happy if Sati is like Sati only, that she exhibit all these qualities. But sometimes what happens, na, this quality end up in tragedy, like what happened with Sati. प्रजापतेस्तु शुश्रूषस्य समा साम्प्रतिं निर्यापितो यज्ञमहोत्सवः किल Vayam cha tatrabhishrama yad artitami vibudha vrajantihi. Sati is telling, my dear Lord Shiva, your father-in-law is now executing great sacrifice, and all the demigods, having been invited by him, are going there. If you desire, we may also go. Now, unfortunately, Sati did not go for home for such a long time. That is also another thing. For women, they want to meet their parents regularly. And nowadays they don't meet. The whole day they talk in phone, hours and hours. That is another extreme. Sati knew of the tension between father and husband and her husband. But still she expressed to her husband, Lord Shiva, that since such sacrifice was going on at her father's house and so many demigods are going, she also desired to go, but she could not express her willingness directly. And she told her husband that if he desired to go, then she could also accompany him. In other words, submitted her desire very politely to her husband. And this is also very, it's like Lord Shiva, na, he must be feeling pained. Oh, I am not even invited. But Shiva did not feel pained. He said, okay, let it be. He is affected by modes. But Lord Shiva is not affected by modes. So he is very peaceful only. But Sati is showing the qualities of a proper woman. And they will always have that, even though they may be supreme, she is the controller of all the three modes. But that quality, if she is not affected, she is also neutral like Lord Shiva, and she is also sitting and meditating beside him. Lord Shiva will not get any pleasure. uh, if she is like that, and other times she will, but there will be some crisis also. But in Sati's case, it became extreme. That's the point. And even though they may be fully self-realized whole controllers, the qualities which they have, that should be there only. And that's why she is coming politely and asking. She might have submitted many things the whole time. And like in when Parvati, she cursed Chitraketu. So that is like she exhibited her feminine nature. And Lord Shiva tells Parvati, what you did is wrong. And like that. So here she is exhibiting her very nice nature to give pleasure to Lord Shiva. But this time it does not happen like that. तस्मिन् भगिन्यो मम भृत्यभिर्स्वकैर्ध्रुवं ग्रमिष्यन्ति सुहृद्दिदृक्षवः अहं च तस्मै भवता विकामये सहोपनीतं प्रति ब्रह्मि अर्हितम्. I think that all my sisters must have gone to this great sacrificial ceremony with their husband just to see their relatives. I also desire to decorate myself with the ornaments given to me by my father and go there with you to participate in that assembly. So she don't want to go alone. She wants to go with her husband. And if she is also very self-realized and detached, first thing is she will not marry. Second, even if they marry also, then she is also hearing somebody is going and she is looking here, then she is sitting silently and meditating. And it won't work like that. She has to be like that to the feminine nature only will give the pleasure to the Lord. And she's having that. It's woman's nature to want to decorate herself with ornaments and night dresses and accompany her husband to social functions, meet friends and relatives, and enjoy life in that way. This propensity is not unnatural for women, is the basic principle of material enjoyment. So Prabhupada is also telling the same thing. Therefore, in Sanskrit, the word for woman is called stri, which means one who expands the field of material enjoyment. In the material world, there is an attraction between woman and man. This is the arrangement of conditioned life. A woman attracts a man, and in this way, the scope of material activity involving house, wealth, children, friendship increases. And thus, instead of decreasing one's material demands, one becomes entangled in material enjoyment. Lord Shiva, however, is different. Therefore, his name is Shiva. He is not affected. He is not at all attracted by material enjoyment. Although his wife Sati was the daughter of a very great leader and was given to him by the request of Brahma. Lord Shiva was reluctant, but Sati, as a woman, the daughter of a king, wanted to enjoy. She wants to go to her father's house, just as her other sisters might have done, and meet them and enjoy social life. Here, she specifically indicated that she would decorate herself with ornaments given by her father. She did not say that she would decorate herself with ornaments given by her husband because her husband was callous about all such matters. Matlab, he didn't give anything. He did not know how to decorate his wife and take part in social life because he was always in ecstasy with thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Vedic system, a daughter is given a sufficient dowry at the time of her marriage, and therefore Sati was also given a dowry by her father, and ornaments were included. It is also the custom that the husband gives some ornaments, but here it is particularly mentioned that her husband, being materially almost nothing, could not do so. Therefore, she wanted to decorate herself with the ornaments given by her father. It was fortunate for Sati that Lord Shiva did not take the ornaments from his wife and spent them for ganja. Prabhupada is very humorous here. Because those who imitate Lord Shiva in smoking ganja exploit everything from the household affairs. They take all their wife's property and spend on smoking, intoxication, and similar other activities. And this, we see this very common example in India. This very much happens. In the West, they don't know this. In India, this is a very big problem. Bad habits, so many have bad habits and they lose so much of their wealth because of these things. So here, sometimes the money they keep for the education of the children, they could not give proper dress for the children, proper food for the children, because all the money goes in their bad habits only, in drinking and gambling. This is how so many people suffer. So here, Prabhupada is making that Lord Shiva, he did not decorate only. He did not give anything to Mother Sati. And it is not, means here Shiva, he's a nice husband, but he's not able to take care. He's completely, of course, Sati chose Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva cannot be completely he cannot be accountable for it. He said, I am already detached. She only wanted to marry. What can I do? So Shiva can justify also. And Mother Sati, she understands the position, like Ardha Muni. He when Devavati married, she also didn't get anything. But when Kardamani understood, okay, now it's a time, he gave everything to her. In Sati's case, she didn't spend much time. And she's happy with whatever Lord Shiva is. It's a very nice family. तत्र स्वसृस्मे ननुभृतः समिता मात्र स्वश्रु क्लिन् धियं च मातरं दक्षे चोचिरोक्तः मना महर्षिभिरुन्नीयमानं च मृधा द्विजम्. My sisters, my mother's sisters, and their husbands. Her mothers have two sisters. They and their husbands and their affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So if I go, I shall be able to see them, and I shall be able to see the flapping flags and the performance of the sacrifice by great sages. Oh, for these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go. So she want to meet relatives. She want to see the event, how it is happening, the festival, like so many decorations and other things. As stated before, the tension between father-in-law and son-in-law persisted for a considerable time. Sati had therefore not gone to her father's house for a long while. Thus, she was very anxious to go to her father's house, particularly because of that occasion. Her sisters and their husbands and their mother's sisters would be there. as is natural for a woman. She wanted to dress equally to her other sisters and also be accompanied by her husband. She did not, of course, want to go alone. Thus, manifested cosmos is a wonderful creation of the interactions of three material modes, or the external energy of Supreme Lord. This truly is fully known to you. Yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once again. So very, typical for any condition. So, of course, she is the mother of universe. For her, it is Krishna's arrangement. The Akshayani, Sati knew very well that her husband Lord Shiva was not very much interested in the glaring manifestation of the material world, which is the cause by the interactions of three modes of nature. Therefore, she addressed her husband as Aja, which refers to one who has transcended the bondage of birth and death, or one who has realized his eternal position. She stated the illusion of accepting the perverted reflection, the material or cosmic manifestation to real, is not present in you because you are self realized. For you, the attraction of social life and the consideration that someone is father, someone is mother, and someone is sister, which are all illusory relationships, is already over. But because I am a poor woman, I am not so advanced in transcendental relation. Therefore, naturally, these appear to be as real, appear to me as real. Only less intelligent person accept this perverted reflection of spiritual world to be real. Those who are under the spell of external energy accept this manifestation to be fact, whereas those who are advanced in spiritual realization know that it is illusion. Actual reality is elsewhere in the spiritual world. But as far as I am concerned, Sati said, I do not have much knowledge about self realization. I am poor because I do not know the actual facts. I am attracted by my birthplace and I want to see it. One who has attraction for his birthplace, for his body, and for other such items mentioned in Bhagavatam is considered to be like as a ass or a cow. I like I decided not to go to my birthplace. Many years I am not going. I want to get detached from that place. I was very attached. Even now also there is so much strong attachment. If I meet my school friends and all, I feel for that place. Or if I see some photo of that place, I said no, no, no. At least one thing I should get detached. So for many years, when last time I went to all the places and then I decided, okay, this is the last. Hopefully, I will be able to maintain that. Sati might have heard all this many times from her husband, Lord Shiva. But because she was a woman, Yoshiti, she still hankered after same material objects of affection. So now we have nice point to justify. If Sati could not come out of it in spite of having her husband, Lord Shiva, and hearing from him for such a long time, what to speak of us? We are we are small conditions. So for us also not a problem. The word Yoshit means one who is enjoyed. Therefore, woman is called Yoshit. In spiritual advancement, association with Yoshit is always restricted because if one is like a play doll in the hands of Yoshit, then all his spiritual advancement is at once stopped. It is said those who are just like playing things in the hand of women, Yoshit Krida Mrigeshu, cannot make any advancement in spiritual realization. So it's not the fault of women, it's the fault of the union. Their combination is a problem. Because what happens is, uh, like if he is not very advanced, if he is attached to her, then only the problem comes. He should be very strong, standing strong and helping her wife also to come along with her in spiritual direction. How Kardamuni did. Kardamuni is not afraid, so he is not attached, but he gave all pleasure to her wife and made her spiritually advance also. So that is the point. She was also doing austerities like him because he was not attached, so he could help her also come out of the situation. we should also work in the same way. Not attached. We should not be attached, and then slowly, slowly help the person who is. If a husband is attached to wife, then he cannot help her, and instead he will be like what Prabhupada is writing, play things in the hand of women. Cannot make any advancement in spiritual realization. So this is actually what happens. पश्य प्रयान्तिरभवान्ययोषितो अप्यलङ्कृतान् काण्टसखा व्रतुष व्रतुतसः यासां वृजब्धि स्थितिकण्ठमण्डितं नभो विमानै कलहंस पाण्डुभिः. Oh, never born. Oh, blue throat one. Not only my relatives, but also other women, dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments, are going there and with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white aeroplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. So it's not one, two. It's so many of them are going. So immediately it definitely affects actually. And the name Sati, that's why she's the most. The name itself means that she is very chaste. And anybody, the Sati, the Prata of Sati, like woman entering into the fire of funeral fire of husband, is actually she's that is also called Sati because it is they are chaste. So that's why the name comes Sati. That means they are very chaste. And most chaste of all is Sati here. Here, Lord Shiva is addressed as Abhava, which means one who is never born. Although generally he is known as Bhava, one who is born, Rudra, Lord Shiva is actually born between the eyebrows of Brahma, who is called Swayambhu, because he is not born of any human being or material creation, but is born directly from the lotus flower which grows from the abdomen of Lord Vishnu. When Lord Shiva is addressed as Abhava, this may be taken to mean one who has never felt material misery. Sati wanted to impress upon her husband that even those who were not related to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself, who was intimately related with him. Lord Shiva is addressed here as blue throated. Lord Shiva drank the ocean of poison and kept in his throat, not swallowing. It is also allowing it to go down to his stomach, or allowing it to go down. And thus his throat became blue. Since then, he has been known as Nilakanta or blue throat. The reason that Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison was for others' benefit. When the ocean was churned by the demigods and demons, the churning at first produced poison. So, because the poisonous ocean might have affected those who were not so advanced, Lord Shiva drank all the ocean water. In other words, he could drink such a great amount of poison for others' benefit. And now, since his wife was personally requesting him to go to father's house, even if he did not wish to give that permission, he should do so out of his great kindness. So that's what she's expecting. So thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end here. We'll meet on Monday. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.